Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's Uplift. Today we're going to be talking about unity, and first, of course, we're going to start with a prayer. So, if it's comfortable for you, gently close your eyes. And just know with me that we are part of something that is so much bigger than we are. That we are created out of that one life, that one perfect intelligence, that one which is spirit or God or harmony, love, whatever you want to call it, that we are created out of that by self-contemplation, that we are the hands and feet and heart and eyes of God. And so this afternoon, I just want us to know that together we are greater. Together we are greater than any of us individually. That's what unity is. It's coming together. It's being part of something bigger. It's joining our hearts together for something greater, for the love that we all are. So right now, just know with me that these words are complete in the mind of God and also in physical form, that unity is life, unity is love, togetherness is all of that. And so with a very grateful heart, I let these words be complete now, and I release this word, and so it is. So there's been a lot of talk about unity lately, and today that's what I want to talk about. I know I'm not the only one that's been talking about this topic, but we do approach these things differently, so here's my take on it. In the Glossary of the Science of Mind textbook, unity is partly defined by saying that unity signifies the union of parts, a result of many drawn together into one harmonious whole. And as we've said here many times before, unity is not uniformity. There is diversity in unity. Unity does not mean that everyone thinks the same thing or views life in the same way or even looks alike. I'm afraid that would be rather boring, really, since there would be no diversity of ideas or opinions. I do believe that unity means tolerance and respect, acceptance and compassion. It means heading in the same direction, even though the way we get there may be different. For many years, I was the adult leader of a girls' youth group. They were teenage girls. I really appreciated the other adults on the council because they always, when we'd come together, they always had ideas or they always thought of something that I had not thought of before. And if we had all been in agreement at the same time, we wouldn't have considered some of the ideas that the other parents brought forward. So we would talk and we would consider and we would discuss and we would compromise and so on until we figured out, or until we came to our final answer. When we presented the plan to the girls, we presented it as unified. We didn't say, well, Miss Russell thinks this, but Annie's mom thinks this. That would certainly defeat the purpose. It may not, while we were in our discussions, it may not have looked like we were in unity, but in fact, we were united in our desire to give the girls a leadership opportunity, to give them some great experiences, and for their safety. There are a lot of things that can be said if they come from a place of love. I'm quite sure that's what parenting is like. All parents do not agree on how children should be raised or disciplined or schooled, or even what their allowance should be or why they should get it. The parents discuss it and they come to a decision, and then together they present it to the child. They are in unity for the good of the children and their family. And yes, they might go about it differently, but now they're a team. You've probably heard the question, would you rather be right or kind? We don't have to be right. We don't have to whip out our phone to prove that we know more than the other person. We don't have to win every argument. We can be kind. We can show the other person some dignity. We can allow the other the grace of our kindness and our respect. And maybe this particular thing that we're arguing about isn't really the most important thing. My mother used to say, you have to pick your battles. I didn't really know what that meant. But truly, it isn't important to win every time. Some things are more important to you, to your values, to your spiritual and your emotional well-being, and those would be the ones for you to stand up for. If you're holding your views so hard that your knuckles are turning white and your face is turning red, you're not being kind or respectful. You're not trying to reach unity or harmony, and you're not coming from love. And yes, we do see this in our country right now. We also see it in families, in workplaces, in organizations, really any place where groups of people come together and have different opinions or views. Have you ever been with a group of people that are trying to decide where to go for dinner? Everyone has an idea. And of course, they're all different. They want Mexican food. Someone wants Italian food. They want to go to the Chinese buffet, and so on. And then the discussion. I don't like Chinese. Well, I think that place is too expensive. Well, that other one's a little farther than I wanted to go. And then finally it gets narrowed down until it's down to one or two places, and then finally you reach an agreement. You jump in the car, you go have a good time. In the beginning it looks like we don't have unity or harmony, but really there is. It's the common goal of a place to eat. In music, harmony does not mean everyone is playing the same note. We play or we sing different notes that go together. Sometimes one instrument or one voice leads or is featured, and then later it's a different one. That's how life is. We don't all play the same notes, or think the same thoughts, or even agree. Sometimes our friends are featured in the spotlight, and sometimes it's us. One thing is for sure. If we do it with respect and tolerance and acceptance, we are more likely to have unity. We can learn from each other. We may have to compromise or entertain a new idea. A new thought? There is not only your way and my way. There's a third way, the new way that has yet to be discovered. Spirit never intended us to be all alike, but it did intend for us to be an harmonious whole. We are not meant to be clones of each other. We are also not meant to be so polarized that we cannot see the intrinsic value in each other, the value of another person, another idea, or another spirit in form. I hope that when you're doing your daily spiritual practice, you are including prayers for peace and harmony, unity for those in your family and for your community, and for those in leadership wherever they are, because our prayers and our consciousness do make a difference. My very, very dear friend and very wise friend said this. He said, "There is no hate in unity." In my mind, unity is another expression of love. It's how we honor each other and ourselves. We come together wanting the best for each other and for our loved ones, and for this planet that we call home. We don't always agree on what that will look like, but with that end in mind, we can be guided to do the right thing. So be your fabulous self, different from everyone else, yet part of the whole of life. Remember that who you are contributes greatly to the world, even when you don't feel like it. And remember that you are the light, and your light makes a difference to me and to each other and to the world. Thank you. So, join me now in another prayer, as we know that harmony and unity and love, these are our birthrights. We are this and more. I know that the God part of us recognizes that, and that the human part of us sometimes does struggle. But as we turn more to the God part of us, I know that we recognize the harmony and the peace and the goodness that we are. I know that as we recognize it in ourselves, we can recognize it in others as well. And we see that in our family, in our community, and in those in leadership positions. We see their goodness. We know their compassion. We know their unity. We know their wisdom. We know it for each one of us. I look forward to a harmonious world, filled with unity and diversity and love. And so I let these words go knowing that they are complete in God mind and right here and now. And with great gratitude, I say, and so it is. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Bye for now.